Dr. Silk pan the scene. All my patients know what I mean. Yeah, man. This is Dr. Silk Asara, and you're listening to DBS Radio.
DBS News. Fresh in the morning. Eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
In the headlines, Her Excellency President Sylvanie Burton describes the late Pope Francis as a great spiritual leader who epitomized genuine love, humility, and compassion. St. Lucia governments to end Lucilec monopoly on electricity generation and strengthen witness protection laws. And Donald Trump hints at softening China tariffs and says no plan to sack the head of the U.S. Federal Reserve. The details in a moment.
Not only does it make your white the cleanest and brightest, the benefits of using Clean and White bleach are endless. The sterilizing property of Clean and White bleach is beneficial for several household purposes. Clean and White bleach has the ability to remove mold and mildew from hard surfaces, serve as a disinfectant for household items like your kitchen and bathroom area, and even your baby's toys. Clean and White bleach is available in various sizes at Fine Food. Call 617-6342 or order on Click and Collect your Clean and White bleach today. Clean and White bleach available at Fine Foods and sold island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
We thank you for joining us this morning. I am Ivona John Baptist Luge with the morning news. President of Dominica, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton, has expressed sadness after learning of the passing of the Holy Father, Pope Francis. Pope Francis died at the age of 88 at his residence at Casa Santa Marta, Rome, on the morning of Easter Monday. Her Excellency the President stated that despite the fact that His Holiness was ailing for some time, his passing came as a great shock, having been seen a number of times in public at the Vatican during Holy Week, which culminated in an Easter Sunday appearance at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. The President added that Pope Francis was an example of a true Christian disciple of the Lord Jesus and a great spiritual leader who epitomized genuine love, humility, and compassion. She further stated that the Holy Father was well respected and touched the lives of millions around the world, and also devoted his entire life to his spiritual ministry and will be long remembered for his tireless advocacy for peace, social justice, and for the vulnerable and disadvantaged, and the great importance he attached to forgiveness and reconciliation. Her Excellency said prior to his passing, the Holy Father asked the world once again for the courage to change direction, to follow a path that does not destroy but cultivates, repairs, and protects. The President said that her husband, Mr. Gilbert Burton, joins her in conveying to the Pope's only living sibling, Maria, To the clergy and religious and the Catholic community here in Dominica and throughout the whole world, their deepest condolences during this sad and mournful time. Her Excellency, the President, ended the statement by saying, "Long live the legacy of the Holy Father, and may his soul rest in eternal peace." In more news this morning, the Dominica Association of Teachers, the DAT, holds its annual general meeting at Goodwill Parish Hall this morning. Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Association of Teachers is Juanita Carbon.
The theme chosen is Unite, Aspire, Achieve, the power of teamwork in education. Down to deliver the feature address is Dr. Francis O'Severin, Pro Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of the West Indies Global Campus. The day's activities will also include annual reports, update on salary negotiations, launch of 2025 World Teachers' Day celebrations, introduction of DAT's youth arm, and the recognition of retired members. All educators and specifically members of DAT are encouraged to attend this meeting and to engage actively in the discussions and affairs of our union.
Public Relations Officer of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Juanita Carbon. 7 candidates will contest the Salisbury Village Council elections today. Local Government Commissioner Glenroy Tousse has encouraged the people of Salisbury to turn out to elect the candidates of their choice.
Residents of the community of Salisbury will go to the polls today to elect a new council which will be charged with the responsibility of governing the affairs of the community for the next 3 years. 7 candidates will be contesting the election, and the candidates are Simon Francis, Dirk Frederick, Vincent Langley, Yvette Scotland, Ned Toussaint, Ridge Vidal, and Sylvia Vidal. The polls will open at 8 this morning and will close at 5 in the afternoon. The polling station is the Salisbury Primary School, and of course we're encouraging residents of Salisbury to turn out in large numbers to vote for the candidates of their choice as you work collectively to enhance the development prospects of the community of Salisbury.
Local Government Commissioner Glenroy Tousse. The Ministry of Education will recognize 45 individuals who have completed the National Vocational Qualification NVQ programs. A certificate award ceremony to honor these individuals will be held on Thursday at Goodwill Parish Hall. The National Vocational Qualification Training Program is a collaborative effort of the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SIDEMA, and Skills for Youth Employment Program.
The Ministry of Education, Human Resource Planning, Vocational Training and National Excellence will recognize 45 candidates at an award ceremony on Thursday, April 24, 2025. As part of a regional initiative spearheaded by the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SIDEMA, and the Caribbean Association of National Training Agency, CANTA, with support from the Organization of American States and funding from the Canadian International Development Agency, the Dominica Tippett Council facilitated a Level 3 CVQ program in construction site supervision in partnership with the Dominica State College. So 18 of the candidates who will be awarded on Thursday afternoon successfully completed the program, which ran from January to March 2025. The program was designed for site supervisors and foremen to apply the CARICOM Regional Code of Practice for the construction of climate resilient homes and is the first award of CVQ Level 3 in Dominica. So this is a milestone for our TVET program in Dominica.
Minister with responsibility for education, Octavia Alfred. Meantime, Alfred says 27 students who completed skills training programs under the Skills for Youth Employment program will also be recognized.
The Ministry of Education will also be awarding 27 national vocational certificates to students who completed skills training under the SKY program. Some of these skills include plumbing, electrical engineering, garment making, nail technology, commercial food preparation, and others. We are looking forward to this, our second NVQ award ceremony. The first was held in August 2024, where 60 candidates were awarded.
Minister for Education Octavia Alfred. Managing Director of the National Bank of Dominica, Annette Severell Estrade, says the opening of the bank's newest branch on Old Street will make banking services more accessible to Dominicans. The ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new branch took place yesterday as operations at the Bayfront branch ceased last week.
This opening is significant because it comes at a special time in our journey. Last month, we proudly celebrated 47 years of dedicated service to this nation. Nearly 5 decades of commitment, resilience, and growth. We did so under the theme, celebrating 47 years of excellence, a year committed to mindfulness. That theme has guided our reflections and our plans for the future. Mindfulness for us means being intentional about how we show up for our customers, for our communities, and for the environment. It is about leading with purpose, listening more closely, and acting with care. And this new Old Street branch embodies all of that.
Managing Director of the National Bank of Dominica, Annette Severell Estrade, she says the new branch of NBD represents not only size or location, but the improved quality of service.
We have created a space that reflects the evolving needs of our customers, a modern, welcoming environment designed to deliver more efficient service, improved access, and a more personalized experience. Everything here was designed with you in mind, from energy efficient systems to customer friendly layouts. As we continue our tradition of naming each branch after the street it calls home, Old Street becomes the newest part of our story. It is a name rooted in the history and heartbeat of Roseau, and now a symbol of our continued investment in the people who make this city thrive. As we open this branch, we are not just expanding our footprint, we are reaffirming our promise to grow with you, support you, and remain a trusted and dependable presence in your life.
Managing Director of the National Bank of Dominica, Annette Severell Estrade. Pastor of the Soufriere Christian Union Church, Reverend Bennett Thomas, has been elected the new Island District Bishop of the Christian Union Churches. The election took place during the Dominica Christian Union Church 66th Annual Island District Council. The council, which serves as the church's highest decision-making body, brought together 61 delegates representing the church's 15 member congregations across the island. Reverend Bennett Thomas succeeds Reverend Lennox Timothy, who served in the role for the past 8 years.
I give God thanks that I could be chosen and elected by the congregation to lead the organization. And what we are seeking to do is to ensure that the word of God spreads around the entire country and beyond into the region, and that each one of us as servants of God would live lives that are in keeping with what God expects of us, so that our individual lives, our community lives, our church lives, and by extension the country will have people of righteousness. We are happy that as a long-term institution and a state and a spiritual body that we are able to impact the lives of our fellow Dominicans. As district bishop, the role is to basically ensure that the word of God goes around, spread around, that we live lives and other persons follow the precepts of God, and that we have a better country, a more peaceful country, a country that indeed fears God. And that's what we are looking for. And as we fellowship, not only for our congregation, but the rest of the spiritually minded persons in our community and country. Yes, we do have 15 different churches in different localities in the country, and each of them have pastors that oversee them, and I look over them. And as a result, my role is to coordinate the effort so that all of us, all the different churches in the district, have one voice.
And that was the New Island District Bishop of the Dominica Christian Union Churches, Reverend Bennett Thomas. The other newly elected district board members include Reverend Erickson George, who continues as Assistant Bishop, MacDonald Thomas, District Secretary, Miss Wifley Jules, District Treasurer, Pastor Edward Allington Wilson, Pastor Lincoln Anthony, Derek Common, Gary John Rose, and Marvin George, trustees. St. Lucia's Governor General has announced major reforms in a broad legislative agenda outlined during Tuesday's throne speech. The reforms include breaking Lucilec's monopoly on electricity generation, strengthening witness protection laws, and introducing plea bargaining to St. Lucia's justice system. The government of Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre also announced plans to regulate cannabis through a new advisory council, establish a fingerprints bureau to bolster crime detection, and streamline land titling for unplanned developments. Additionally, amendments to the Electricity Supply Act will open the energy sector to new players, while revised succession laws will simplify small estate administration. These measures headline the broad policy plan targeting crime, economic growth, and public service improvements for the 2025-2026 fiscal year. While the throne speech covered additional priorities, including healthcare, infrastructure, and the Citizenship by Investment program, the focus remained on legislative action to drive reform. And U.S. President Donald Trump has appeared to soften his recent comments on China and the head of the U.S. Federal Reserve after recent clashes as he pursues his economic agenda. He said he has no intention of firing Jerome Powell after repeatedly criticizing the head of the central bank, but he added that he would like Powell to be a little more active on cutting interest rates. Speaking in the Oval Office on Tuesday, Trump also said he was optimistic about improving trade relations with China. He said the level of tariffs or import taxes that he had imposed on Chinese imports would come down substantially, but it will not be zero. Trump has ratcheted the rates on Chinese goods up to 145%, sparking reciprocal measures from Beijing and warnings from economists about the global impact of a trade war. That's news. Stay tuned. Sports comes up shortly.
Give babies the comfort they need with paddless diapers. A diaper with a powerful storage core that locks the wetness away and keep your baby dry. Soothe your baby's skin with a breathable cotton-like cover because paddless diapers has a wetness indicator. Your precious baby deserves a diaper like Paddlers, which has an easy fit due to flexible side panels with stretch that ensures increased comfort and freedom to move, to crawl, to walk, to run and play. Paddlers, distributed by Fine Foods and sold island-wide.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Exciting news from NBD. We are relocating to a bigger, better, and more modern space. On April 22nd, we will be welcoming you to our Old Street branch, designed with your comfort and convenience in mind. More space for a seamless banking experience, modern facilities, and enhanced services. Now in a brand new space. Please note that our last day of operations at our Bayfront branch will be April 17th, 2025. For more details, contact us at 255-2300 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. NBD, your partner, your bank.
Welcome to the Morning Sport Reports. The 2025 Dominica Amateur Basketball Association DBS season officially gets underway tonight with the 2025 Knockout Cup. 8 Premier Division teams and 10 Division 1 teams will take part in the preseason Knockout Cup.
The DABA Knockout Cup gets underway at the Massac Indoor Facilities. And the Knockout Cup basically is set up for where everybody plays, get an opportunity to play everybody. It's an open bracket where the first division and the premier teams are all mixed, and then they play each other for finals that is supposed to last about 2.5 weeks of basketball. Tonight we'll have a very short opening ceremony, and we'll go right into the games. We have 2 games scheduled, so that starts off the tournament right away. And the first game is at 7 p.m. and the second game will take place at 9. Following that, there will be games every night, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and a couple games also scheduled for Sunday evenings. The aim of having this Knockout Cup to basically get teams geared up for the National League, which will commence the week after this all culminates. So that's the plan. We have 8 Premier Division teams and 10 Division 1 teams so far registered at 18 teams, and that's going to make up the pool. And hopefully 2.5 weeks from now, we'll have a knockout champion. Well, tomorrow evening, the first game will be between us and Real-Time Ballers. That game starts at 7 p.m. And that will be followed by the second match between the PSC Falcons Division 2 and the Detroit Blazers Division 2 teams. So these are the 4 teams engaged tomorrow evening. And again, the action continues on Thursday. So initially, these 4 teams will kick off the playing tournament tomorrow. The knockout champions get prize monies of $1,500, same as we did last year. And that will hopefully, the aim here is really to get teams ready, to give teams not limp into the league, but be more prepared for the league. So this tournament kind of, lights a fire and builds some excitement, because you most likely play people in that tournament that you will not play in the regular season. But the prize money is $1,500 for the winning team.
President of the Dominica Amateur Basketball Association, Donnie Robinson. The Ministry of Sports has congratulated Addison James on capturing his first gold medal in the Under-20 javelin event at the 2025 Carifta Games held in Trinidad and Tobago. James recorded an impressive throwing distance of 67.48 meters. According to a press release, the ministry and the government of Dominica says it recognizes and celebrates this significant accomplishment by Addison James. It adds that this gold medal is testament to James's hard work and dedication to the sport of javelin and his unwavering desire to succeed. The release from the ministry states that they are confident that Addison's accomplishments will serve as an inspiration to other young athletes across Dominica, encouraging them to dream big and pursue excellence in sport. It continues that the ministry also applauds the efforts of all the athletes who represented Dominica at this year's games, including the members of the mixed relay team who set a new national record in their debut appearance. It adds that sincere appreciation goes to the Dominica Amateur Athletics Association, the Dominica Olympic Committee, and all partners for the continued support of the athletes and commitment to Dominica's participation at the Carifta Games. The release states that the ministry looks forward to James's continued growth and future success on the regional and global stage and wishes him all the best in his sporting journey. President of the Dominica Swimming Association, Woody Lawrence, says a 5-day hype swim camp for Dominican swimmers will help develop the sport. The camp is being facilitated by 3 St. Lucian coaches. Lawrence says swimming needs to be revived in Dominica.
Last year we competed at the OECS Championships for the first time in 20 years, so we have to continue that trend. But mainly we're also looking at the future development of our coaches. In 3 weeks' time, we will have our national swimmer, Olympian Jasmine Schofield, who's training in France. She's also on the World Aquatic Scholarship, and she will be competing at the Pan American Championships. And later on in the summer, she will be competing in Singapore at the World Championships. But also, we're also planning on having some local activities as well in order to develop our local program. In order for us to get funding for our local programs, we have to have international representation. So that's for the likes of Jasmine Schofield, Warren Lawrence, who swam for us at the Olympic Games and also the World Championships. It's all part of our development program. So we have some Dominicans living abroad, in which we're also planning to embrace and even be part of our program. But our priority is the development of our local program, but we need the international exposure as well.
President of the Dominica Swimming Association, Woody Lawrence, coordinator of the Hype Swim Camp, St. Lucian Yasmin Tyson, says she is optimistic that swimming will make headway in Dominica.
We partnered with the Dominica Amateur Swimming Association to run a sustainable swim camp to give them a foundation for their competitive program, and also to work alongside the various persons who are interested in becoming coaches in Dominica so that we can create a sustainable program whereby they have a base to start their preparation for OECS and other competitions. There's a lot of potential so far. We have coaches from Dominica that are very passionate about swimming, and the swimmers that we have a range from 8 and under all the way to 18 and over, and they have been turning up. It has been a very good experience, and there's a lot of potential here from what we have seen. With the swimmers, we expect to create a passion for swimming and allow them to make commitments towards the sport of swimming and towards the Dominica Amateur Swimming Association. Because what we recognize is that, yes, persons want to learn how to swim and they stop, but we want to create some form of sustainability whereby they can have a proper structure in place in terms of competitive swimming and recreational swimming. For the coaches, we want to create some form of longevity working alongside the federation and providing further opportunities for the coaches and working alongside them so that they can continue the various aspects of swimming in their communities.
And that was coordinator of the Hype Swim Camp, St. Lucian, Yasmin Tyson. Round 3 of the West Indies Rising Stars Under 15s Championship continues today in Antigua. The Windward Islands Under 15 will be in action against Jamaica, while Leeward Islands will come up against Trinidad and Tobago, and Barbados will take on Guyana. Meanwhile, in action on Monday, Trinidad and Tobago Under 15s won by 4 wickets with 57 balls remaining against Jamaica. Guyana Under 15s won by 6 wickets with 150 balls remaining against Guyana. And Barbados Under 15 won by 140 runs over Windward Islands. More cricket news. Nicholas Pooran was named as the leading T20 player in the world in the 2025 edition of Wisden Cricketer's Almanac, which was published on Tuesday. Meantime, Jasprit Bumrah, India's all-formats fast bowler, was hailed as the leading men's cricketer in the world. Bumrah will cap his performances in 2024 by becoming the first test bowler in history to claim 200 wickets at an average of less than 20 each, is described by Wisden's editor Lawrence Booth as quite simply the star of the year. In total, he claimed 71 test wickets at less than 15 each, while also bowling India to glory in the T20 World Cup in the Caribbean in June. Bumrah's compatriots Smriti Mandhana made it as Indian double by being named as Wisden's leading women's cricketer in the world. The Wisden Trophy for the year's outstanding performance went to New Zealand's Mitchell Santner. This year's almanac also saluted James Anderson, who retired from Test cricket in July after 21 years and an England record of 704 wickets. More cricket news. Team manager of the West Indies women team, Sheena Goodin, has described as a good experience a women's high-performance workshop which was facilitated by the International Cricket Council, ICC. The workshop in Lahore coincided with the ICC Women's Cricket World Cup 2025 qualifier, which took place in the same city. The theme of the workshop was collaboration and competitiveness, with the aim to share knowledge, best practice, and experience in various key areas of the women's game. According to the West Indies women's team manager, one presentation which stood out was that of Cricket South Africa, which stated that the team travels with an educator for the Under-19s program. Goodin said she thought this was brilliant and helpful because every time the fixtures are looked at for the West Indies Under-19 teams, the topic of players missing out on school always comes up. She believes this approach taken by Cricket South Africa could be the solution to that challenge which is faced. And finally, in the morning sports report, former Australia cricketer Michael Slater has been handed a partly suspended 4-year prison sentence after pleading guilty to domestic violence charges. However, the 55-year-old will walk free, having already served more than a year in custody after being refused bail in 2024. Slater, who played 74 tests for Australia between 1993 and 2001, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of common assault, 1 of unlawful striking, 1 of assault occasioning bodily harm, burglary, and 2 counts of strangulation. Slater amassed more than 5,000 runs, including 14 hundreds and 21 half-centuries during an 8-year test career with Australia. Well, that's how we end the DBS Morning News and Sports. Join us at 11 o'clock for a preview of the news, and at 1:15 for another major package. Of course, there's also another major package at 6. On behalf of the News and Sports Departments and the Links personnel, Hazari Williams, I am Ivona John Baptist Luge. Good morning.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins, and bidets. PVC piping, fittings, and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
Exciting news from NBD. We are relocating to a bigger, better, and more modern space. On April 22nd, we will be welcoming you to our Old Street branch, designed with your comfort and convenience in mind. More space for a seamless banking experience, modern facilities, and enhanced services. Now in a brand new space. Please note that our last day of operations at our Bayfront branch will be April 17th, 2025. For more details, contact us at 255-2300 and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. NBD, your partner, your bank.
DBS News. Accurate, up-to-date, professional. We bring you the news of the nation via 3 newscasts, Monday to Saturday at 7 a.m. The DBS Major Morning News, 1:15 p.m. your lunchtime news bulletin, and at 6 in the evening, the DBS Evening News. Call us at